something.
I'm lagging. Am I still lagging?
Bad, yeah.
Ah?
Yeah.
We're live too, I think.
Yes, we are. Hello, party people.
Wait, am I back? Am I still lagging?
Yes.
You're still lagging, but we can hear you.
I am. My whole computer is dying. Bitcoin's being mined by Chinese people on my computer.
You're increasing the GDP of the glorious.
Now this is just a curse if everything goes wrong. Wait, I think it's stabilizing.
It seems to be stabilizing it.
Hello, hello. Okay. Let me see. Let me close. Gosh, this is so amateurish. Let me close the other applications here. So we're a bit late, guys. Just life happens. That happens when you actually have a life. You get late to things, So it's all good. I'm here once again. I'm Nicholas. I got my buddy Conway. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine.
I'm gonna move you here actually. And we got Dom, regular face as well. Yay. So before we play, so we've been 3 weeks now? Hiatus?
It's been a bit, yeah.
I thought it was 2.
About that?
About 2, yeah.
2? Okay, it feels like 3 for me for some reason. So before we play, we ended up not discussing that. Are we taking immediately off of where we stopped, or are we implying that it's like 3-4 days like to recuperate? Everybody's like kind of fixing the village. We rested, we got healed. How we'll do that?
I don't know the system well enough to know how long it would take for the players to recover.
Yeah,
honestly,
so
it is up to your actions. I think that is just something that can be 4D'd, right? If the players discuss with themselves and say that, yeah, we need to rest, and then you take actions that imply that you're taking longer time to rest, then it'll move time forward.
The idea here is that if you get treatment, with enough time and treatment, you can get healed to maximal health.
That's good.
Now,
I
how...
though, I don't think we need to discuss this.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I think I'm still lagging a bit.
But there is the aspect of, well, this is also to test the system, right? So it's good that you brought it up. Because if you want to see how the resting rules work, then we can do something like that, yeah?
Yeah, but the rules are for resting mid-adventure, so to speak, like you're in the tomb, but you're not going back to heal, like, oh, let's rest for an hour, then you have the rules for that, but if there is a time skip and there is healers around, there are healers, there are medicine available, you suppose that, yeah, you got enough time to be treated, you're back to full health. So I'm asking you because do you think the village is equipped to fully heal, like, the people in, like, 3 days?
Yes. Let's use the rules, though. Let's see how the healing rules work, depending on how many days you guys want to do things.
Let me share my... It is on page 32, though, if you want to look on your end. But I'm sharing nonetheless. Where is it? What? Oh, here. Yay, so this is medicine, page 32. The idea is that you are dealing the traits, the wounds individually. Like if you got lacerated, you have to kind of do a test if you're healing someone else to heal that. Though, yeah. Where did I write natural healing, though? And this is weirdly formatted. Oh, I think it's here. Actually, it's not. I don't know why I wrote it. That's very good job, Nicholas. But yeah, but the idea is that, like I said, if with enough time, like 3 days, 2 days even maybe, and there is people to heal you and they have supplies, you're just healed. Other than that, like I have to go there and like do a test with my medkit on Tobias to heal him in the field of combat,
Right.
mid action. Like
That might just be my skill issue then, because I didn't see that in the rules, where you can just heal to full if you have people taking care of you. Which case, yeah, it's gonna be easy, I suppose.
yeah, I did write down. I just not like I said. I think it's bad formatted because I remember writing that down somewhere. So that's
There's
yeah. Like, are we doing like a little time skip?
We can 4D it, right?
mhm.
Okay,
So we pick up
okay.
at the resumed point, and we introduce the elements that happened as they're relevant.
Indeed.
All right then. You guys have everything that we need. I'm good as well.
It should be ready, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna close this. Ooh. And
Also, Nicholas, it's on page 40. It's on page 34. What you're
okay.
looking for. It's under the natural elements, surviving
Okay.
in natural elements.
All right, there you go for posterity.
Yeah.
If everyone is ready to start. Ashes spread across the wind, carried slowly across the visage of a burning town, and the few people huddling together close, others rushing away to put out fires as best as one can. Ironic, given the bog water all around.
I stand up, using my axe as a support for my own weight. Looking around, I wipe some grime mixed with sweat off of my face. Some soot.
I'm chasing after some children in the street. Don't touch those! They're very, very sensitive. The children had been bouncing and pulling on the interconnected wires that connect the bells that I've set around the town.
The children scurry, still calling for the name of their mother. Albert, in the midst of all of this, shouts for one man and another. Others come bringing news. He seems to organize them as best he can before finally having the time to turn back to Augustus. Oh, he rushes forward, no other available hand, and tries to help you up.
I
They got
let
you pretty good.
myself. My arm bleeding, my left hand a bit mangled. Yeah, I will survive. Roll my shoulders a bit. Now some of the hogs, they scurried away into the wilderness, but I don't think it is wise to send a search party for pigs scattered in the woods.
What party? I have no one, and I won't even let you leave like this. He grabs your arm and starts helping you up by the shoulder. Come on.
Let myself be carried. I must speak with the father, with the priest, before I rest.
Fine, I'll go with you. He shouts to another man, find me in the church, if need be. He'll slowly limp along with you, helping as much as you can.
The cable that the children were playing on had been made loose I trace it back to where it was cut at the centermost bell that I've connected, and take a knee to re-taut the cable at the centermost point. It's about knee height and quite thick.
The wire itself begins vibrating back and forth, slowly.
Limping along, still using my axe as a crutch. I haven't seen him during the chaos. You think he's safe?
I don't know. Everything happened so fast. And all of the men were back trying to draw water. And the women were getting everyone to safety. I don't think I saw anything happen here, at least.
I figured myself. Albert, I appreciate your help, but the city is yours to take holds of, for now at least. As the only free man, you might as well be its mayor. Go take care of the city. Organize your man. I can make my way to the church.
We're almost there. It's fine. A few extra steps. The small stone church. Pete almost leans you back against the wall before letting go. I will agree to that. I must go indeed. They need me. And I think that he needs you.
May the Father watch over you.
And may the Mother grace us both. He turns around.
You push open the wooden door. Father.
It creaks slowly. The whole room dark. Not a candle lit.
I drop down to my knees in the mud and begin to meditate upon the bell, the centermost point of an otherwise interconnected web of other bells connected by these wires that fulfill a large pentagram around this, within and around the city. I focus on it and begin tapping at the bell, allowing my perception to expand throughout the city, trying to get an ear for Augustus.
Roll Sumnic Magic.
Success.
Like the leather of a bellow, the fire, the warm air rises, the cold air lowers, and the string itself almost dances across its entire length, so large that even these small fluctuations move it back and forth, like the breathing of a beast. The wire begins to vibrate, and as it does, so do your ears. At first, it is like a storm washing over you, too powerful. But slowly, you manage to hold control over it. And the breathing of this fiery beast across the entire town seems as normal as yours. Then, little notices of perception. The running of the same children that you shooed far off. And the small talk. All over. Too much at once to suss out anything.
I hold on to the perception, letting my hearing be that of the cities, or be that of the towns for the time being.
The entire wire confusing, but focusing on points within the pentagram might aid.
I sit there.
I
sit there meditating.
I stepping into.
There you go.
I step into the church, project my voice a bit louder now. Father, it is I, Augustus, the Inquisitor. Holding my axe.
A frail voice comes through.
I walk in. Where are you, Father? Are you injured?
Behind the altar. I am fine.
I walk all the way there, limping less now. Have you seen what happened?
I have been spared it. I had a most awful dream. In the dream, I turned away. And I heard a voice, a voice so sweet. It told me that I need not see. I lived a whole good life. And it's coming to an end. I think it's a stroke. Can't see a thing in front of my eyes. From what I've heard, I've been spared an awful sight.
I put my axe on my bell hook, and I approach him carefully, going for his arms. Here, Father, please have a seat.
Strangely, his eyes don't follow motion. Has his back against the back of the altar. He was mostly staring up.
The danger is gone for now.
You took care of it. You always take care of them.
We remedied the situation for now. It's not this putridness is not cured yet, Father. But it shall be.
My head hurts so. He begins waving his hands, trying to reach for your shoulder.
I guide him, nearly practically hugging him. Here, please, let me take you to a bench.
Yes, take me.
I carefully guide him, watching my step, guiding his to the nearby bench.
I've done my part. There's not much left to do.
I sighing deeply, nodding to myself.
Now I leave this to you, Augustus. My apprentices, none of them of this place are good. This place needs a new priest. It really needs one now.
Put my hand on his shoulder. I tap. I shall take care of your flock, Father. You may rest.
I'm happy that I didn't see it. The father and the mother have this in their hands. I need not this worry as I come into their hands. Everything will be fine, won't it?
I squeeze a little bit his shoulder with the most firm yes I can speak. Yes, it shall be.
The frail skin of an old man. Still looking upwards only. He says the last of what he can. So weak, his eyes barely moving. I believe you will do great things in this place, Augustus. So I commend my spirit upwards. Must only say, the powers here must be restored. When I spoke of the old rituals here, they were powerful. There is strong evil in this place. You've seen it, have you not? I did as much as one man could do.
Aye, Father. Aye. Here, I slowly guide him to lay on the bench.
He lays on the bench. His head hits the back of the bench slightly, but the pain is already so strong that he does not even care for. I need you to find that place where the old people did their sacraments. Find their clans. There would be a long time until a priest can truly set this place free. Maybe the people of the past could hold it better.
Will not, Father. This problem is no longer yours.
And you must
I have my
under the cherry tree. Yes, under the cherry tree by the hill. And he begins talking, not making sense. Slowly fading.
I no longer meditate with the focus on the voice of Augustus nor his animal, and continue to rather proceed with meditating on just the sounds of my broadened perception, smiling at the noise of the children playing, as discordant as they may be, even risking touching the chords themselves, happy all the same. I continue meditating.
The sounds of the entire village seem to sublimate into a single thing. The single background noise as one acclimates to it. And it is warm. Warm for the fire, but also warm for the people. As if the entire town is children playing. It fills one's heart with joy. But then other sounds, as that one grows weak, other sounds come. The sound of the bog, croaking frogs far away, the chirping of crickets. And once more, it seems as if the sounds are too much, but they too normalize slowly. And darker things crawl beyond. The sound of things moving all around the woods. And though, yes, many of them are spreading away from the village itself, and there is no single mass, like bandits running off into the woods, running away from the night. And as these things spread, they spread almost like a circle, clear intelligence behind it. 1,000 branches breaking underhoof, and 1,000 blades of grass being trampled upon as this wave spreads outwards. Outwards and outwards. And as it grows distant, just echoes. They begin growing louder, even just these echoes, as more and more they come to one place. One place far to the northwest.
Disturbed. My joy in the gift of the mother and father that I was given, corrupted by this outside entity. My meditation is cut, and I look, my eyes, my entire head focused in on that disturbing outside noise, that static that interrupted the noble noise, the noble sounds of civilization.
Roll mental.
Failure.
And suddenly there is a loud crack, like the cracking of a whip, instant, as in one far off corner of the town the fire spread and burned through one of the threads. And as it snaps, the whole pentagram of sound begins collapsing on itself, the whole thread falling down, one sudden sound spreading across your head, shaking, rattling back and forth across inside your brain. And the noise doesn't stop, it keeps ringing and ringing. Tinnitus to mental damage. This ringing doesn't stop, it never ceases, even as the magic gives way.
I stare briefly at the visage of the house that my face initially darted towards, the initial disturbance, before keying in on my broken bell and begin going towards the direction of what broke it.
Augustus.
I stand up in front of the bench. A peaceful cadaver of the priest in front of me. I make the gesture of the father and the mother. And with best of all beside me, I take a final look around the chapel, see if I notice anything odd.
Best of all licks your hand, always knowing when his master's in distress. The room to the priest's private quarters is there, the door agape.
The floorboards squeaking under my steps, I approach the door. I yelp a command in Pristino in Latin to best of all, stay guard.
The loyal hound lies by the door, staring out the entrance.
I push the door.
A very modest living space. Simple furniture, a chair, a table, 2 cabinets, and a modest bed. Quite a few books amongst the shelves, and one that is locked. Something strange. The lock being probably the most expensive thing within this space.
I approach, touching with the tip of my fingers the locked book. I pick it up to see its back, see if there's anything written on it, any label.
For a moment in the dark, your eyes confusing. It is the back of a locked cabinet.
I blink thrice and shake my head. Trying to see it clearly. If I'm not going crazy.
It is a simple, sturdy piece of furniture. Could be broken. The lock itself is simple, made of brass.
I pick up my axe, and with its blunt side backwards, I try to leverage it against the lock. See if I can break it.
As the first strike down comes, its sound emanates all around. Thunder comes all around. A flash lights the whole room for but a moment, and the wind picks up. And
I stop immediately.
The shadow of the crooked branch of a tree displayed across the room. Then nothingness.
I adjust put on the book under my arm, and I make my way out of the room, pushing the door lightly. Best of all, as I make my way out of the church, the chapel.
Tobias.
Marching down towards the direction of my broken bell, I begin to draw deep breaths into my lungs, my chest expanding a bit inhumanly as I prepare my body for a loud bellow. Keeping my lips sealed, my chest is expanded a good bit beyond what would seem natural as I continue marching down the way towards the broken bell.
Sounds emanate from around you. This time not from afar, listen through your magic, but instead the sounds of the people fighting the fire. Sweaty sounds, the sounds of men working, heavy buckets of water being taken across a line. In the end, splashing of water and the sizzling of the water against fire turning to steam. And all this effort for water, and it just begins falling off the sky as rain comes after the thunder. The men cheer.
My lips sealed to not expunge the deep, the amassing of air in my body. I glare around, trying to figure out, looking for the scraps of my bell before I rush over to it.
Up ahead, the men fighting the same fire that burned through a piece of thread. The fire managed to spread to the north of the town, but they managed to control it, though they're trying to fight it back. The fire right up ahead, still relegated to the back buildings of the town.
I place my hand at the back of one of the men fighting the fire and mime to him my bell and the fire with a confused expression on my face.
He looks back. Hey, what's up with you? And I don't understand. Hey, that's one of the weird wanderers, the guys that are in town. Another man says, just let him through, whatever he wants.
I wave my hand down at him and walk off to the side, observing the firefighting, observing the keeping my eyes on them and glaring at the point that my bell had or the thread had snapped. Patiently, impatiently tapping my foot, staring at them, letting the air naturally leave my body, the spell passing, and my chest returning to normal.
Even in the blazing fire, one can easily see the thread going into one of the now burning roads. A building above it was over it, and the fire collapsed it right on top of the wire.
Seeing as how this is much more observing the pace, I roll my eyes and walk down the path I came. And no longer bothering with them, returning back to the center, going towards the center point of town again.
The town becomes almost a ghost town, away from the men.
Coming out of the chapel now, trying to get another reading of the town, see if I can see the priest's apprentice or Albert's young boy, even Tobias.
Begin shouting for Augustus.
Shouting in the wind. Very faint, but you can tell that it is your name, Augustus.
I take a heavy sigh and walk towards the shouting until I can be within view. Still looking around for either the priest apprentice or the young boy.
I march towards him. Hurried. Midway, I shout across the street. Augustus! 2 problems! That way, where you can see my cords limp, there has been a fire, another fire. I was indisposed due to my presumptions of the of what was going on, and didn't bother to ask what either stupidity or maliciousness caused the fire. But most of all, I've got a bit of direction for us when we're ready to set off.
Looking around, just making sure there's nobody within earshot. I gesture, come closer, and I nod my head with my head towards the chapel.
Like, continue going towards Augustus. Whatever alien force is beyond the city, or beyond the town's limits, beyond my limits that I set, it's toying with me. That thing, that horse, tainted the very essence of my connection to the mother and father.
Well, you are going to enjoy seeing something, I believe, Tobias. Come with me towards the chapel. I would rather the locals not see it.
What could the...
As I'm walking, I keep on talking.
Fine.
He said we have 2 problems. You err. We might have 3, if not 4. Quick.
The fire can be dealt with. It seemed fine enough. The men that weren't freaking out. What could
Yes,
possibly happen in the church?
In front of the church, I hold the door open, still looking around, see if I'm not being followed. Please enter.
The rain picks up the pace. More and more drops pitter-pattering across the floor, the stone floor.
All right. I take off my spectacles and begin drying them off with a cloth on a nearby table. Well,
Close the door after Best of All enters. He shakes off the wet, the water off of him. I remove my cloth as well. Just caress now. A bit indented with the skirmish before.
There is a sound of scuttling, scurrying, coming from the room of the priest. The sound of something dragging across glass.
My hand was going towards the lock of the church. And it stops. I kind of limp. I sprint towards the open door.
cautious, I follow behind.
Lightning strikes, comes through the window, illuminating the silhouette of a large black raven, its awful beak trying to lift up a window. With the sudden lightning, it stares off at Augustus and Tobias through the doorway, its black eye staring, but it flies off.
It's not. It's the fifth problem, isn't it?
Even to me. I you're over at the bench where I left the priest. Are you still here? Let's see if I can still see the body.
He seems as if he's sleeping peacefully.
I lock the door.
All right.
The door was open once you arrived. The Raven could have just walked through it.
I have to make the lock on the front door. We don't want nobody getting in. I go towards the priest's personal room, and with holding an axe in one hand, I slowly begin to close the window.
The window finishes closing. A small gap, not all fully enclosed by the glass.
My eyes might have been playing tricks on me, but how big was that bird?
Sorry, can you repeat?
My eyes might have been playing tricks on me, but how big was that bird?
I cast a glance towards best of all, trying to compare the size.
It was not big enough to carry the hound off, but it could harm it.
Well, certainly could carry a small child, a baby, perhaps. Very large bird.
Well, the locks should be fine. It didn't seem supernatural necessarily. Eerie, but not in the same way. But these windows, it could probably break. And the stained glass, there's nothing helping that.
I come back towards the altar. I gesture towards the dead priest. He passed away. Tobias, don't be startled. What I have to show you is this. I pull out the large locked book, put in front of the altar, and on top of the altar. I would like you to have a look at this, alchemage.
If it's of the church, I'll be of little use, but I'll take a look.
I point with my finger towards the book. I was looking for a ledger that will have the register of people who've born and died in this village, and I found this. When I tried to break the lock, thunder rolled in. Though I do not know the arcane arts to the same level as you do, I know when something's not natural.
And you're saying the lock is unnatural?
Well, I step back. I would like you to tell me.
I mean, I wouldn't have any other way to determine if that was the case other than trying to vibrate the metals so that they'll come loose. And if they resist, then we'll know for certain that it's supernatural.
Any preparation?
No.
Anything we can...
I can do this through contact. Unless you have any other ideas. My connections to the mother and father are relegated to vibration and sound. So unless you have any other creative ideas for how to manipulate that, then I'll be going very mundane.
I look at you, I trying to gauge how tired, how battered you look.
I am occasionally leaning as if there was a crook in my neck. But not exhausted.
Before I ask you to fiddle with this luck, the priest told me that the cherry tree, I vaguely gestured towards the direction of the big hill, that there is where, if I understood correctly, that is where the old folk used to run their sacraments, their rites to the old gods.
And that's where their stone needs to be replaced. At the cherry tree.
Through a window far to the northwest, one can see the cherry tree.
I do not believe it is wise to investigate any further. Not today. I look at my arm. Mangled.
Of course. Well, I'll take some time and try to vibrate these pieces loose and see if that does anything.
I make my way to a bench on the opposite side of where the corpse is resting. I sit down. Very well.
Old, faded leather, not up to standard of the guild. Bound and chained. The chains more recent than the leather itself, though they too are rusty.
With a needle that I remove from a compartment in the back of my apparatus, the back of my shield, I place deep pricks into my fingers. One hand, then the other. The tips of my fingers amassing a sizable amount of blood as I kind of ring all of my digits around this lock before focusing in on the movement of my blood in an attempt to cause a extreme vibration within the lock to dislodge its pieces. Success.
The surface is raspy, sandy, little bits of rust. As it vibrates, these little pieces kick back up and down, and it just clicks, broken in half.
With a strong enough tool, you could have had this, but it is unlocked now when you are ready to delve further into it. You said this was a ledger?
That's what I was looking for. But I stand up once again, make my way all the way to your side. There is no reason for a ledger to be locked up like this.
Right.
He's analyzing the book before I touch it further.
As my spell is fading away, the vibrations of my blood kind of trickling away, all of it is still liquid in this constant movement as I kind of almost rip my fingertips away from it. All of the blood coming with me. None of it staining the book.
I analyze, I watch the blood flow before turning my gaze back to the book. I pick up my axe and I open the letter bound front of the book I flip it open with my axe, and I see the first page, the front page.
The page opens, and an awful voice comes from outside. Listen well. There is no reason for one to look where one ought not to.
It
It echoes through the church.
my body freeze, like the cape half open.
We had a
My
deal.
breath.
You have already cast out the pigs. I can draw them, and you cut them. A dozen voices join in unison outside as lightning comes. Is that not what you want? The awful pig. I will serve him in a platter for you. I will get them all together. One place. They will burn. Nevermore shall any legion march through this land, yes?
The heathens weren't worshipping you, were they?
What kind of heathen? Too many kinds for a single word. Your
Those
kind
that
are not as powerful here as you think.
those that held those ruined wards, the stones that were removed. Those were not in reverence for you or your kind, were they?
The Keltii, the people of the Force, are of my kind. And they still draw heavy roots. I will have you know. The Outlanders, Norse, the very book you hold. They found ways to draw roots out.
I looked to
I'm
Augustus.
still like frozen in place. The lid half open of the book.
My gaze is shared with Augustus in that I am also looking at the book, just practically muttering to myself. You were we to listen to you and leave this place to your devices, what would you do?
What I've always done. I love humanity. I love the daughters of men. I take it you've heard it.
No. Only the folk tales, not your
I
true
take
myths.
one every decade, yes. Most tender. Why would I, like Legion, cast off my pearls when humanity does so well by itself out in my woods?
I
Shake my head.
lower just a little bit of the.
Daughters of humanity like it too?
Why is this book of so much importance to you, demon?
It is my favorite pastime. The great green woods beyond are my real place. Why do those that have cows go off to hunt? Do they not have enough meat at home?
You do not answer my question.
We
This book.
already struck a deal with your manservant, and we will take none of this. As it angers, the lightning strikes and the rain grows stronger, pitter-pattering on the floor of the chapel, coming off in droves off the sides.
I click my wrist in the X, pulling open the book. I look inside. Try to read.
Sleep well this night, then.
Ignore the foul spirit of us. I start flipping pages. Whatever deal it has struck with people who lived here, they're long gone.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they... Do let me know if you find anything in that book or you want to take shifts so that it's awfully thick. I think we'll know what we're looking for when we see it if we can understand what's actually here.
I gesture with my hand towards the room. You can rest now. Sleep a bit. I need your mind sharp.
Yeah. Let me... No, it's not worth creating alarms. I'll take your advice and I'll just sleep here and...
Best of all, we'll sleep with you in the room.
Sure.
He'll be your alarm if anything happens.
Best of all has his back to the wall in the corner, eyes looking over the place, snarling, feeling something beyond the walls.
I speak in Latin. Best of all, I point towards Tobias. Protect. I'll keep reading this book, Tobias.
Mm-hmm.
Standing up and still flipping pages, trying to make something out of it.
Words in Pristino? The book has words in Pristino on its very first page.
I stop immediately and I begin to read.
It's archaic. It has a date, something 300 years ago. It seems to be the journal of a common monk writing in Pristino. It speaks of barrels of ale and wine that were produced, exported. Then ripped pages. Finally, the monk speaks of his new captors, his new slave drivers, as he calls them, men of the North, illiterate, but captivated by the few stories he tells them that they can understand. And over the course of 40 pages, he gets accustomed to his life. A well-treated slave of something called a Jarl. Seems similar to Earl. Eventually, the book speaks of the Norse and their many rituals. And as pages go on, it starts speaking of their evil gods. This would be a longer read.
I sit in one of the pews, shield and satchel off to the side. Eyes closed. Fingers rubbing temples.
Make an ear check. Yeah.
Failure.
Steps close to the church. Multiple. At this point, they're already by the door.
I glare back. Augustus! It's people outside.
People, huh? I close the book and I put it under the small place underneath the altar to hold the book. Resting my hand on my axe, I walk towards the door. Who goes there?
Lightning strikes through the windows. Black silhouettes of men. Then a voice. Augustus! It's Albert. Is everything fine in there?
Pull up, open the lock. But still holding my axe, I open the door. Yeah.
Albert, 3 of his men, then 1 ward that was checking around the building comes. They're all by the entrance. Where's the priest? What happened?
I gesture. The priest, as I give way, the priest passed away when I got here.
Was he attacked?
No, he was unscathed. I believe the stress was too much for his body. He did say he saw a vision of the mother. His soul is in a good place, but his moral husk lays there. I point towards the bench.
It's above. Fine. He steps into the church. We managed to control the fire. Everything is fine. None of you two are wounded. Well, more wounded than I saw, right?
No, we're fine. Standing in front of one of the pews.
I've already sent off to warn the closest village houses. Those off of the village center. They must be warned, and I have no one to do anything else.
Yes, you do well, Albert. I don't know if I speak for Tobias, but I'll spend the night here. I believe that even with the priest's apprentice, being his apprentice, I outrank him. I am for now the official priest of this settlement.
You will find that no one will disagree. The priest's apprentice I don't think that he is worthy. I will send people here then. It has many pews where they can sleep. A good third of the village burnt down. Not a good thing. We managed to save the granary. We won't starve, but the lack of animals won't help. He sits on one of the pews.
Do you know what caused the fire?
But the demon, right? The one we saw, the flesh tower that went up?
We can only hope.
He looks to Augustus, not Tobias. Well, why does your manservant speak in riddles? What is this?
He is overstressed. Do not mind him for now. Who is the eldest, Albert? Alive today?
We lost 7 people, I believe, yes. During the fire, a child, and the other 3 you saw, they fought side by side with the pigs.
Do you happen to know who is the oldest alive since...
He seems to just look towards the altar, as if he was expecting the priest to be alive there, but no. The most elder, if not the priest, then... Well, they're not in the village center, but there is a very old woman, grandmother to about an 8th of the town, really.
We shall take care of that on the morrow. Let the homeless come. No. The only thing though it pains me to ask of you, I point towards the priest. If you could take his body, I would rather the people would not see him like this. Your microphone.
I will bury him in the cemetery. It will be fine.
Yes. If you have any healer as well, we'll do well to take care of them all here in the chapel.
Right. Augustus, what do we do now? This is why I came here, truth be told. We were never attacked by a demon horde before, and there's an Inquisitor here. I'm sure you know that you're hurt, but listen, we need to know what we're gonna do. Do I lock down the whole town? No one comes in or out? I can have my men look over the bridges, but I can't prevent them from swimming away. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I cast a quick look at Tobias. Besides a lockdown, make sure nobody lives the heart of civilization. We recuperate for the night. I need to think, plan, and tomorrow I'll give you a course of action.
Right.
For now, people must rest, recuperate not only their minds, their bodies, but their minds and their faith.
Do I send a letter to the Duke? He can have 100 men here in a week, I think. Maybe 2, if the letter gets there delayed.
I look around. Yes. If you could include your letter, I'd like to add a letter of my own to the church. And looking at Tobias, if you want to contact the guild, it would be your chance.
I'll include a letter. If that's what you're implying. Do you have any scouts?
Scouts? I got farm boys that know how to ride a horse.
The system that I had orchestrated, the bells and the cables, was recently broken. When I looked to the mother and father, and they reassured me that things would improve, of course, before this, as you say, demonic fire began and caused that to, cause that interruption, tragedy, the most recent tragedy. The mother, my connection was severed. To be fully transparent with you, sir, and I know this is all very strange, in nature, or beyond nature for you, but there was something dark within the forest, and it felt close. It was not like the what you would say, not the visions, but the omens that we'd received up until this point. It was not like one of those omens. It was something hiding. It did not want me to find it. I did not feel that way anyway.
Like the animals?
No. The animals, the Legion, as it calls itself, has a rival. And I believe its rival is the biggest danger.
You do not need to
His
scare the man.
For a moment. He puts his hands on his head. He shakes his head and is laughing.
What the alchemage is saying, let me translate it. It is, yes, a demon. It's just a different sort of demon. We will quell the problem.
So what? I'm the burgmeister of the only village this side of the Atlantic that has 2 fucking demons in the woods. Lord, mother and father, have mercy.
I extend a hand towards his shoulder. Trust me, for this night, set up a watch, as you would always do. Stand the ones who lost housing, the ones that cannot be housed by their neighbors, to the chapel. And if possible, the other woman, ask for someone to escort her here. I would like to have a word with her.
All of that can be arranged.
And on the morrow, at first light,
Ensure that you have somebody watching the forest to the northwest. I do not know what the thing is capable of. It is singular, whereas the Legion is multiple. So
I will make it so that only the south bridge will allow people through, will allow transit. I will have men on the bridge in the north. I will make sure that the woman is brought here, and so is everyone without a place to rest. I also have the daughter of a herbalist. She's a granddaughter of the woman, in fact. She'll be good at taking care of everyone here. We just need to hold the fort for 1 or 2 weeks until the Duke arrives. I just hope he doesn't burn the rest of the village down.
if that is all that can be done, then it'll be that way.
I instinctively slide my hand on my axe and I tap it a bit. Yes, let's follow this plan. On the morrow, I'll bring you a concrete course of action.
He gets up, shouts a few orders to his men, looks over at the altar, begins to pray silently.
I reach my hand towards a small, very dried, not even branch now, just sticks of olive, and I do a little gesture of a blessing on Albert, muttering in Pristino. And I gesture for him to keep on going. I turn my back, going back to the altar.
He continues praying.
I look back at them with a face of pity. And not involving myself in what Augustus is doing, I do stand next to his side to look away from the gathering behind me. When they are subsumed in their prayers, to whisper to Augustus, they don't have time.
Whispering back to you. We cannot fight. Not now. At least tomorrow we can have a chance of holding ground.
We don't need to.
I'm more than willing to give my flesh for the cause.
That will do
But
nothing.
only
Your flesh will do nothing. You dying a martyr will do nothing. This isn't something to fight. This is something that you have to understand to defeat.
well, that's why I've commissioned the guild, Tobias.
To come here in 2 weeks? Maybe.
No, you are the representative of the guild.
I understand.
I'm sending a letter to the church. This is more than a single Inquisitor can handle. If they have a worthy man, a paladin, that would be a blessing, but if I can get at least another ordained Inquisitor, more men, we have a better chance of holding grounds. If you need to bring another alchemist, this is your chance.
In 2 weeks. Right?
What do you suggest?
Information. We need to understand it. Again, I don't know certain if it wanted me to know where it was located, or if that was luck a good omen from the mother and father during my meditation.
I slightly bent down, grabbed the book under the altar, and I gently press it onto your chest. It is in ancient Cristino, but it is a diary, a journal of a very old monk. He talks about the Northman. It's about their gods.
We know what it wants. If it gets aggravated, we know what we would need to do if what we're doing is stalling. And I can only imagine it'll take what it wants by force, and potentially then some if we upset it.
It is already upset with us. There's no point in reasoning with a rabid hound.
Is it? Do we know anything about it?
We know what it wants.
And that's it. We don't even know if the fires were set by it. When has it shown any interest in setting fires? Or even the ability to do so? My voice louder at that point.
I look behind me, see if people are eavesdropping.
This isn't a hound. This isn't an animal. This is something beyond man. I'll read the damned book. I pray that this mad hermit had anything to say about such a creature. I pray for our sake and whatever young girl it's going to eat the moment it gets the chance. It gets fed up with us.
We have only 2 arms and 2 legs. There's just so much ground one can cover. There's so much work one can do under the sun. The children of the gods are meant to toil with what they have in hand.
We're not toiling. We're not being active. My suggestion for the man to send a scout was ignored, and instead he wants to turtle and hide from it and stall. That is not being active.
You're gonna send a single young boy to check the cherry tree. You think he'll do anything? He'll get himself killed.
Will he? Will he? The thing told us its rule, at the very minimum. What does it care about boys? Don't aggravate it. Again.
And what do you want? What do you hope the scout to do?
I don't know. His job. Learn, see what he can find. Details, runes inscribed on the tree for all I know. Something.
I cast my look towards the window, trying to gauge how late it is.
Night has already taken a good part of its course.
It doesn't need to be tonight. It can be tomorrow. Not 2
But
weeks from now.
Tobias, the plan is we recuperate tonight. Tomorrow morning, we take action. In the meanwhile, someone is traveling to the big city. Contact the church, contact the guild, contact the duke. I agree with you, we should take action, but for some wicked reason, I believe it wants us to be in full capacity to face it off.
Again, if I implied that I needed action tonight, that was not my intent. But every word by that man implied inaction in the future. But we'll see if he can be spoken to tomorrow.
I'm sure he will be spoken to tomorrow. Now rest. I tap on my forehead. Now rest your weapon.
Thunder cracks through the entire church.
I take the book and bring it with me. My shield in the other hand.
Best of all is gonna keep by your side this night.
I prop the shield against the pew in front of the one that I take a seat in to kind of make a pseudo stand for the large book as I sit back and occasionally lean forward to read throughout the night.
I make myself busy going around the chapel and checking the candles and incenses, looking for a way to light them up for the evening.
The incense takes off some of the heavy burden of the ashes in the wind. Even the rain could not bring it all down, but now the soothing smell spreads across. The book itself, its words take meaning. Continuation of the story of this priest. Intermingled with Pristino are words in other languages, difficult to pronounce, of gods of the Norse, and of new conquests. This priest talks of their homeland across the frigid North Sea. Then another raid. He is elated, speaking of his home once again. He was taken a slave, then taken back to his own home. Great host of heathens defeat the locals. Now they are lords over the land where he was once born, 30 years after he was taken a slave. He is happy. Under the Norsemen, he is even teaching a new group of priests under his name. Then he starts speaking of the Norse gods. His beliefs all mixed together, a mess. His mind not as strong of a fortress as it was 30 years ago. In the woods, he speaks of other gods. He speaks of the gods that can be found through the mushroom circles, the gods that manifest through the foxfire, and the gods that come in the night. He speaks of a dark forest, and make a mental check, Tobias.
Success.
You are not asleep, but around you, a forest. The forest that he speaks of manifests itself. Dark, tall, many pine trees. Body parts hanging off of the pine trees. The needle-like branches. A mist covering the bottom. It is not even able to see the sun, though it is not as dark as night. It must be up. But too thick the woods here. A raven lands on a branch behind you. You understand way more than they do.
The moment my gaze is taken away from the book and the pews, I frantically look back. The shield gone. I look at my arm. The tube's gone. Begin to grow bug-eyed at what is happening around me. So I look at the raven. What?
The
Where am I?
beast moves. And it begins mimicking the voice of a human. It is strange, but it is quite able to do so. You understand this way more than they do.
I understand that there are things have rules, yes, but I don't know your rules or any of these. I don't. No. Massaging my arm.
All has its time. What do you think will come once the week ends and they are here? You think the Duke wants villagers to call for him? He will burn the rest of it, like Albert said. That man is smart. Then another week, and the men of the church will be here. They will burn what the Duke has not burned. All of those books up in ashes. You're right to believe that time is your enemy if what you want is information.
Why? Why is the Duke doing this?
Demons spread. The Duke is smart to do this.
Demons can be defeated.
Legion can be defeated. It is not too late.
Your kind was pushed back just because the fools that followed Legion moved a rock. Doesn't mean that rock can't be moved back.
1,000 ravens begin cackling all around the woods. Burn the tree down, and you will see it come back from its roots. Unless you kill all of the people. They struck a deal long ago, did they not? That is how I walk into this land. They will kill many, I believe, yes. If the next Inquisitor they send is twice as thick-headed as your master, then they will burn perhaps most of them. But another generation, true survivors turn to 4, then 8.
No, I understand.
You can do the numbers yourself.
I understand that killing is not the answer here. It never was.
It is the answer. You will prepare Legion, and you will deliver them in a platter to the Duke. You will say that the demons were vanquished. And I will help you. We will hunt the beast down. The Duke will be happy if the demon is dead. Hell, I can even give you one fine black steed. Another demon head for you to give to your masters. Not even Augustus needs to know.
You are the steed. You are the entity that wants this young girl sacrifice. Yes?
I take many forms. That is one of my most favorite upon this realm, yes.
I was about to question your logic, but I realized that would be stupid.
Oh, not under this sun, in this fine place. I would love to hear it. I am not like Augustus.
I don't know how many young girls are going to die en route to you claiming dominion over this land.
Some will die. Others will be brought to this land. If you step into the mushroom circle yourself, I can show you great wonders and other of the daughters of men that now call this place home.
No.
I will take one every decade. It is not fine to cull your flowers too much. If you cut down too many flowers, then the next generation won't be as supple.
This idiot, this man, this hermit, this priest in this book, all his droning only emphasizes one thing that I know, and it's that the heathens were more intelligent than they let off they had the right way about it. And ultimately, all I can hope and pray to do for the people is lead them in the right direction. If they deny my my advice and things fall in your lap, then that will be what it is. I cannot stop that from happening. I won't help you, is what I'm saying. But if your machinations come to fruition, then congratulations.
That is fine. I will
And
help. Why don't you go ask the priest himself, this fool you speak of? Under the cherry tree, Tobias. Augustus, Tobias can be heard talking to himself.
I am.
I will consider it.
I'm arranging some final essences and performing some final rites of purification. As my head turns towards the small room, and I start walking towards it, hand on my axe. Open the door carefully. Tobias,
The woods collapse in a moment, and a raven is staring into the church from the branches, and it flies off.
I immediately look down at my shield and look down at my arm and pray a sigh of relief.
what has transpired? I look at the corner at Bestival.
A nonsense bargain. That thing, the horse, one of its many visages, came to me when I started to read about its kind in this tome, and bargained with me. It said that I was right. It said that all of my concerns about time were right. He prophesied unto me that through its machinations with how he's puppeteering everything, including Legion and all these things, that the Duke is going to go ahead and burn down the rest of the damned town in about a week. I don't believe anything that the fucking thing is saying, but I don't necessarily disbelieve any of it either. His end game that he told me is that girl sacrifice once a decade. It's not a horrible bargain, but not one I'm willing to give up.
It's taking silence, trying to read Tobias' body language, looming over the door.
Could have been a dream, but this thing has shown powers before.
Again, if anything, it's real or not, it just depresses me more.
Have you?
One more key thing before I forget. He claims that the priest, the hermit, the author of this book, is at the cherry tree. So that'll be a fun thing to explore.
Do not give more words than it's due to the words of such spirits. All you told me are things that I've already either suspected or already knew.
As it did with I only tell you these things because I don't think you presumed that the priest would be at the cherry tree, and that if we are to continue to antagonize the creature, that we use everything it gives us against it.
No bargain shall be struck.
No.
You may have noticed I am not as stern as our Inquisitors. I kind of cast a quick glance at the church. I'd rather treat the tree first, and if that fails, I tap on my axe. I cut the evil from its roots, but I'd rather try everything else first. If burning down the whole village, twofold, threefold, fivefold, is the only way, it is better to lose a tree than a whole vineyard.
That's what it said. Yeah.
I
And we're gonna end it there. I really like the bias and Augustus arguing. That was so good.
I had some music going on the whole time. It was perfect for everything going on there.
That's nice.
I got some people here, huh? Got the man. I now know who you are. I don't know. I'll talk with you later. We had Bacon come in. We had our best boy, Elf Hunter. And I have to agree with him. Like the voice for the crow, I think it's for the crow part. It was very good. It was very good. I love the characterization you gave to the crow.
Nice. Yeah. I want. So I kind of wanted it to be more than just. I really like the idea of like the factions of demons thing that we've been talking about.
Oh yeah.
And getting like to know more of it. That was really fun.
Yeah. No, I think it was a very good touch. You know, it's not so simple. They have their own society and they have their own goals and agendas. They're all pulling the strings from different sides, trying to do their own thing, right? Very much like men do. So I thought it's very cool. For Tobias, it's like he's aware that they're more complex than that, but when you sum it all, the final sum is humanity is at a loss, so kind of it's easier to treat them as this one thing, you know? That's how he behaves.
And I like that because you can tell that Tobias has that niggling feeling that there's something more to it. There is a better way to do it. But I like that Tobias is still defiant towards this thing, right? Because I was trying to drive a wedge between the two main characters. That was pretty interesting. There's something that happened that I want to bring up. Maybe I made a mistake, but when I was describing the room of the priest, I tried to say that there is a locked like cabinet. For some reason, he went to book, and then I said, "Well, in the darkness, your eyes play tricks on you. It's a locked cabinet.
I know.
It's brass and wood, right?"
I thought at first like mind shenanigans were happening, and I had a little vision when I looked at the book. So I got confused. I don't think it was your problem. I got confused.
Really
that was
book.
And then you brought the book up to Tobias. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna kill my losses here. Might as well forward me a book, I guess.
Yeah.
I got so confused. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
But it's fine because I like the book idea. Like you threw me like on the fire because I wasn't planning on it being a book, right? I was thinking, okay, so it's a book. It's something to do with the Norse, but the Norse wouldn't write. So who would write a book? Oh, a priest. And it would be cool if the book were in Pristino, because then you can not only can you read it, but it's also strange. Like why is this like book in Pristino forbidden, right? I was thinking of that, and in the end, I really like.
Yeah, that was the weird
part.
part.
This priest that was like taken as a slave for the longest time, then he came back with them. I think that was pretty cool because then you can add more comments to it.
I had this one moment, like I was very like immersed into the thing, and I thought, like, man, either Conway thought a little bit of all of this or he came out on the spot, but either way, it feels like very natural. It feels all right. It didn't feel wrong. It was very engaging. On a meta way, I thought it was kind of cool how we kind of there were some situations where I kind of hugged the spotlight, but then I allowed Dom to hug the spotlight for a while because we're having more like what is the right word? Very personal moments with our characters, so we kind of give some, like I'm not going to interrupt. I'm going to have him have a full conversation with in the vision, or when I'm with the priest, he'll allow me to have some time.
I did really like the talking about going back to the factions of demons of the other entities. I do like the way that the Fey demon is, or a Fey entity is presenting itself, where it's like, yeah, it's manipulating things in a way that Legion is just, yeah, it's gonna happen, right? So it's so many compounding things where it's like this. There are certain inevitabilities, but you have to deal with it. Like we're gonna have to deal with the outcome.
Yeah.
So
we had a moment there. It was, and I thought it was kind of funny that you rectified the character. What I was implying is like we're gonna just rest for this night, and tomorrow we're taking action.
Yeah.
But in the meanwhile, we're sending the letters, and like you and by proxy, your character thought I was also into just like hold the fort for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we had like a miscommunication, both outside of character and in character.
But I mean, like that was what the NPC. That's what the Baron said. Like he was committing to turtling. Like that was the beginning and ending as far as I understood it. So that's bad news bears. But we now know why, allegedly, why he's committed to turtling, because he's going to burn the shit down. He doesn't want to wait.
Well, Albert was almost worried of it, right?
Yeah, no, I feel like Albert didn't want.
Yeah. If you're a duke and you have like 10 villages, the last thing you want is a problem to escalate to your hands. Because you already have your own problems, right? It's like you're like the guy that works for you bringing problems up to you. Like, come on, man! Like, you're supposed to deal with this, right?
Right.
So it's kind of like it's scary to call from help from your boss,
Yeah.
Needs to.
Yeah, but this situation is like far too much. I was also trying to imply, because like Augustus, he cannot do miracles. He cannot do church magic. And he was like, "Yeah, this is like we need to have you guys here. Like, I'm willing to die and do whatever I can to." But
we need a paladin here, yeah.
Yeah, we need a paladin here, man. Like, I'm not for this, man.
That's cool. I like that I lit a fire under our own asses for the story, because I like the 2 week thing to be like, what can happen, so, like the timing for the bad ending, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And
very engaging. Like, I really loved the session.
The special thing about this is that you guys are already here, right? You can already do something right now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna sit.
I like playing Albert, because Albert's just like, oh my god, really? There's 2 demons in the back of my woods? Come on, man. It's going to be like one of the characters I really like.
Did I mishear that though? Was it implied that Legion's going to burn shit down, or was it Albrecht that's going to burn shit down?
Is going to what now? Sorry.
So when
you misheard it.
That?
Albert does not want things to burn down, but he knows that the Duke will burn everything.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, he has that fear, right?
Yeah.
Because you say, hey, boss, I'm sorry, but half the village burned down because there's like demons.
Yep.
And he's going to say, okay, where's the demons? Oh, I don't know. It's going to burn the rest of the village down, the rest of the woods down, you know? Because this might be like an in-character, like in-universe thing that you guys might know. but like you don't deal with demons just by sending investigators, right?
Mhm.
You cut the evil by the
Yeah.
root, quote unquote.
Yeah. Which, like this whole analogy, that's why an axe is his chosen weapon as an Inquisitor. It is kind of as a reminder, you know, of cutting the evil from the root, tumbling down the tree. Also, I also like the idea that it is also like the layman's weapon. You know, it's like the working man's last chest of defense. You know, like you're working in the fields, you have to protect your family. You pick up an axe. So like, it's kind of like the image of the archetypal husband or father protecting his family. So that's why he goes with an axe.
Oh, dude, the analogies are too good. Like the demon said that it's going to burn the tree down, but then if you burn a tree down, it can't just branch up from its root again, right? But if you cut it down with an axe, like you can uproot it, right? Like the analogies are like making themselves. That's really cool. I really like that. Yeah. The Duke or the church will burn it down, but like you guys can like cut the tree down. That's so cool. It's really fun. This game has turned out to be. I love like all the conflict between the two main characters, but how they still want the same goal in the end of the day, more or less. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I really like
it. It's funny too because at first I thought Augustus would be like the very cliche, you know, like no BS. When you say something like you're done for, mm-hmm. But then I realized he's not like that. You know, he. Like you can't just go around. I mean, he can go around, like taking haste, not haste, taking decisions with hot blood. Mm-hmm. But I think he values the. Like, yeah, you can like kill a guy and solve a problem, but if you fix the problem, you might. The repercussions of fixing the problem might be the whole thing with the tree. You know, like. You can destroy the tree, but if you manage to cure the tree, it will keep bearing fruits. So that is the last course of action.
Yeah, we'll see if that is possible.
If it is.
Do you guys want to start next session with already having rested like 2 days, so everyone is topped up?
I guess we can do the following morning. Or like the noon on the next day, just to imply that there was enough time for the healer to kind of like, people slept and.
Sure, yeah.
Make sure about tonight.
We agreed that we would take action the very next day. So maybe
like in the system, would you be fully healed the very next day though after the healer goes?
No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't be fully healed, but like if the healer takes care of us. Let me find here.
Taking action could also just be declaring, like organizing people, making a plan. You don't have to put yourselves in the front line. So,
well, that's true.
We could
so
hang out in town,
ask, right?
Make a plan, and then rest next day. Go out, something like that.
Yeah. So we'll start at noon, and we'll test like we'll do like healer tests, and then. From there, you can decide if you want to keep resting, right? So that's the first thing I want to ask. The second thing is, let's not forget about doing XP again.
Yeah.
Because I have it here. I have it ready. Yeah.
Nice.
The bullet is in the whatever you call it in English. I have it here. This is the updated version after your feedback last time, right? But yeah, so at one point, whenever. Fail while pursuing one's elite, if a character succeeds, 3 XP. On that one. Start with you, Tobias. Like, what would you say here? Did you fail pursuing it, or?
My ambition. I think.
Or is it still to be resolved?
I've provoked it, especially at the end there with bringing up the whole like. Well, if I'm going to be leading these people in a spiritual matter, then I can't tell them what to do. I have to guide them. I can't be the iron fist. So I've prompted it. So for the 3 at some point in the future.
Okay. Yeah, on my end, I think it's the same deal. Like, I'm still like the way I wrote mine is like only when I finish this campaign I'll get these 3, which is totally fine. Point number 2 then would be survive an intense conflict or battle. That did not happen, I would say.
No.
So we skip. Did you roll anything that had a target number lesser than 5?
No.
Neither. I haven't even rolled
I
anything.
remember calling for some weird checks like ear check.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, by the way, did you understand how to do it? There is a section that mentions how to pull those off.
I took those brains. Still failed it though.
Okay. There is a specific rule for like innate master, like listening, like in these kind of things, but it's fine. We can talk about that some other time. And acquire knowledge relative to one's archetype and or ambition. I feel like this is the one that happened for everybody.
Yeah.
Both of you guys, because Augustus got a lot of knowledge from the dead priest and from the journal as well. Are those 2 separate?
Yeah, I would put. Yeah, that's something that I maybe should write a distinction. Right, I haven't thought about that. Like, to me, it makes sense because it's 2 separate pieces of information, somewhat related, but they're not the same thing.
Yeah.
Or do you think it is the same thing?
So it's like if you are rewarded for your archetype and ambition being closely related, kind of thing.
Or like the information itself are about the same topic, then it's just one thing. It's not like the book was about X and what priest told me was about Y. It's that the book and the priest told me about X, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Because your archetype, but because that singular thing is syncing with your ambition and your archetype, does that provoke 2 XP?
My gut instinct tells me that would not be the case. That's not like when I wrote this, that was not the intent of it. Unless you guys, like, if you have, this is the point for your opinion as a playtester as well. If you think it should be so, but I think it should be information dependent, not if it's ambition or archetype.
Yeah, because it's
because you're getting more knowledge about one thing, not about 3 things.
Yeah, you're being rewarded for playing a more single-minded character, which isn't always the best, right?
Yeah,
there is some consideration here. What do you guys think about the pacing so far? So the first session was like very slow, and the second session was quite fast. But this one was slow as well, right?
Yeah.
And like the slower the session, the slower you'll be gaining points of XP as well.
Which is fine, because we were like after basically what we would call a boss fight. So, and also like we had a little hiatus, so it was good to like get back into character, get back into motion of like the vibe and everything. So I'm really I was expecting this one to be a slow session. I think the first one, So I'm for me the pacing is as it should be. Especially because session 2, like all hell broke loose. I don't know, Dom.
I like that. All hell breaks loose. Yeah, that's a good name for the second session.
Yeah.
Like Legion and everything.
I agree. I mean, I think that pacing has been great so far. Just as far as the total narrative, I think it's been very, very natural. Yeah. As far as like the individual points of XP, though, I think to keep it simple, just keep it as to 1. Like if you got the line done, you don't get to double dip on a single line of advancement. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Ask about the pacing mostly when it has to do with the with the XP. So I think that in a 4D game, the players pace it themselves.
Yeah, but exactly that's what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, I could let's go to the third tree, but like I am 4 wounds. I have 4 wounds before I die. Like I'm already hurt for half my total body. Like realistically, I would want to heal first before I can do anything, so it's fine. Like I said, like the players, they direct the pace,
Mhm.
how proactive they are, and after that bit of a battle, like let me do it. Let me have supper. You know, let me have dinner before I go.
I think for a game like this, where it's a singular situation that we cannot rest on, like we can sleep, yeah, but we have to be very alert at all times and commit our attention to it. I think advancement should be slow, like because you don't have any downtime, you don't have any opportunity
Yeah.
to practice. Yeah.
It's mostly like the passion of ambition that's guiding your learning
Yeah.
through this time, right? It's not that you're getting better at something; it's that you want to be better. It's like your body sort of forces you to, right? I like that. It's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, I think I would agree with Dom in that regard. Yeah,
Like, especially with how the system is made, I think that the characters already come out the gate, fleshed out as it is. I know Nico and I had a big talk about advancement in RuneQuest, but the idea for that is to not to have an end. It's supposed to be a perpetual episodic game, so it makes sense there that a character might advance very quickly because of it being episodic. But for this, this is just like it's like a mini series, like where the characters are going to be the characters, and we're studying them, and they might show up, or rather show off something they've learned later in the miniseries, but this is a slower burn.
I like that. Yeah, I like thinking about it that way for the NPCs as well, because I've been learning how to play the NPCs as well. It's been quite fun.
Mhm.
Actually getting to explore, right? Because I don't prep that much. I like exploring scenarios in the game, right?
Yeah.
And it was really fun. This was like a very exploratory session for me almost, and that's some of the most fun that you can have in an RPG. Like, I know that this character is like this, so what are they gonna do now? Now that all hell broke loose and things are in motion, they no longer have the treasure of time to wait and see what they're gonna do. Right? They're gonna play their chips, and I love doing that for Albert, for the other demon. Like, it was all very fun.
Yeah.
Do now, because Legion is also an actor.
I feel like these sessions are my favorite ones, to be honest. Like I enjoy the slow burn. Like, to be fair though, the pacing of these three sessions so far, I think perfect. We have like the first one just setting the premise. We end up like at the climax, and then session 2 is just dealing with that climax. And now we are like, recuperating, and we're gonna have probably because of what we're gonna do next session as well. And I like having these little sessions where you just like explore, talk, because you'll find stuff out about your character. As things were happening, like how does a goose react? Like when the demon started speaking to the church, he froze, and he was saying like, "I'm gonna let this go until I feel like it's getting too dangerous, because this information will probably help us." Even though like I don't want to just be talking with like a demon. I don't want the wizard to be talking. Like, I still rely on him. So
I'm gonna go back to the slow burn miniseries, analogy, where like you are given that extra time to kind of sit with these characters, but it's a singular plot. So, having the action session, the non-action section, kind of back and forth, even though that's not intentional, that's not what we're going into the mentality of, it's just naturally occurring. It's lending, it is giving more impact to the juxtaposition, because when we can see how they operate in a calm situation as opposed to an action situation, both of those two things have more weight. Whereas like a flat out one shot like a UNPC, the characterization is important, but the really exciting thing is like the scenario specifically, and how almost kind of how the players interpret the scenario. Whereas here we've established these characters, and we're like, okay, now that we know more about the character, how are they going to react to this? Like the characters have grown a bit beyond the players at this point, quote unquote.
Yeah, we're exploring the character more so than the scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. I think it's the beauty of roleplay,
Exactly.
You see stories coming to life, and I always get a kick out of seeing stuff develop. And even either as like a GM or as a player, it's more crystallized because you're dealing with just one guy, right? But even as a GM, as you're handling NPCs in the world, it's just cool. Like, and you're like in session 3 or 4. And stuff happens, and it becomes like a second instinct. You develop like a little of a split personality when playing it. It's very cool,
right?
Yeah,
it's the most fun way to play, because if I plan stuff, it will not be as interesting. Let me tell you. Just having the scenario and the characters acting. A good example is the book, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want to give you the book. I was like, no, it's not a book; it's a cabinet. Like, stop this nonsense. I try to almost counter 4D it, but then you didn't get it. So you talked about it. I'm gonna count my losses and seed ground here.
Yeah,
and that turned out to be such an interesting way to tie everything up.
Yeah, just as a context, who people might be watching you guys. So my right side is deaf. Like, I cannot hear through this one. So that was affecting a lot of my my understanding. Like, there was one moment I asked you to repeat because I'm hearing perfectly, but like when they say like that, if you close one eye and you read a book or something like that, there'll be words you won't be able to understand because your brain is used to receiving both signals.
Different parts of the brain act on different information. Yeah.
Actually, so I think that was happening with sound. Some words would hit me, and with the whole cabinet thing was because of that, probably. But thank you guys so much.
I think there's even a study that if you talk to someone through their left ear only, so like if you're sitting to their left, to their right, and talking into their left ear, there's actually a much higher chance that they will agree with you, because the hemisphere of the brain that is dealing with that information is the artsy side of the brain, not the logical. It's like you're talking to their emotional side. Like, the brain is super weird. It's really fascinating to read about it. So it's
So you guys totally dropped the one tip you need to finally get a wife or girlfriend. Approach her from her left side every single time.
Indeed. Just before we close everything, right? What do you think of the priest just dying at that moment? I think it's kind of sweet that I like one of the things I like in stories when you have evil forces is that you also have some good forces. But I like the trope that the good forces, they empower you to go do it yourself. So it's not gonna be like an angel that comes down and slays the horse. Like, that's gonna be boring, right?
No,
they're gonna give you the strength to
that's what makes stories memorable.
No, I like that a lot.
That's how you relate to humans. Relate to humans, so
and I like it being almost supernatural. Like, did the priest die of natural causes? Did the good in the world really spare him of seeing the town burn down?
No,
I love that. It's kind of like a sweet little moment, in my opinion.
I liked it a lot.
I think it's cheesy that he just so happened to die when the demon attacked.
I liked it a lot because it was that character in particular was kind of like through playing the first session and a little bit we referenced it a bit in the second session as well. He was always kind of treated as the crazy guy at that point. So we had already established kind of no, you gotta listen to him. So he got bonus, limelight through topics and references. So I really like.
By the way, I gave myself a boon. I wrote a mental priest blasting when he kind of passed on the mantle to Tobias.
There you go.
Oh, that's cool.
Got on my head. I'm that's Tobias feel empowered, as a priest, as officially a priest of this village. So I gave myself one, and I forgot into.
That's why I love the player-facing side of boons in your system, because the player can decide, oh, that was a big moment for my character, because I wouldn't have known that it's a big moment for Augustus, right? That's so cool. I really like that. You should keep it.
I just got tinnitus. My ears.
It makes sense for tinnitus to be the curse of like a sound priest kind of thing.
Yeah.
I
thought it was cool.
I mean, you could have your name could have been tinnitus, and
tinnitus. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also had fun with lightning and rain. You know, always fun to do.
Mm-hmm. There was that one moment I forgot about the rain, and then one of you mentioned the rain again. Like, oh yeah, it's raining outside. Yeah, so it was good that one of you brought it up because so much was going on. My mind was like, the book, and I forgot it was raining outside.
Yeah, when you two were having a conversation, I was trying to anchor the world because you know, as the GM, you have to anchor the world. So I think I mentioned, oh, there's thunder goes through the church as you two were talking. Then I also mentioned like, oh yeah, the rain is pitter pattering on the roof.
Mm-hmm. That was good.
It's a good thing as well, right? You remember that you were in a church. Remember that it's raining.
I remember when you were doing that. It was before. This is how immersed I was. It was before the Fae showed up and started messing with us. But like you describing that was like there's something out there. So like in the moment, like the sound of the rain was like something's coming.
That's one of the creepiest things, is being like safe in a room, but you know there's something out there in the woods. And
yeah,
in the room forever. You know, it's something very like
it's very primal.
You're inducing of it, yeah.
It's very primal, you know. Like it's your hidey hole, and
I tried to sneak in. The door was open or something like that afterwards, because the raven was like tapping on the window, right, like trying to lift it up. But I said the door was open, right? The idea is like, oh, the raven wants to get into the church, but it doesn't, right? That's another little thing. Oh, is there like a good force in the world as well? You know, like.
Oh, I thought because like I said, like Tobias closed the door, and I was meaning like the front door, like dropping the bar. I forgot the name of the thing in English. The lock bar. What? Lock bar?
Barring the door.
Yeah.
Bar it.
And then instead, but something happened, and I thought that maybe Dom understood that I wanted him to close the room's door, the priest room. So I had to I re-clarified just to make sure.
I think I caused the confusion because I wanted to sneak that in. I should have described it earlier. Like, though the crow could have entered, it is now tapping on the glass, you know. But I like like the description jump scare. Like whenever I'm about to describe something that is scary, I just begin talking faster, you know.
Yeah, I think it's effective. I would keep doing that.
It
was fun. It was fun to do so. Yeah.
When I described closing the door, I was vague. I was vague myself because I didn't know what kind of door it was. So I didn't know if it was big enough to warrant that bar, even though that's what I wanted to say. So we were on the same page, just not.
I think I'm thinking like classic small like stone church, right?
Oh, there you go.
Like a door, like sturdy, but
it's a room, you know, basically.
Right, it's just simple door.
It
was cool, yeah. And I love the visual of like Tobias being like lost in the text. He looks up and he's in the forest. The forest that the book was describing.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, that's why like, you know what? I'm gonna click in mute here. I'm gonna let them play that out because that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I did a little bit of sassy 4Ding there, where like I was a little like I wasn't hesitant enough not to do it, of course. Where you know, Alice in Wonderland. Oh God, what's happening? But also imposing the pew in front of me disappeared, the book in front of me disappered, my tubes disappeared. Like I'm returning to nature.
I love like the gaping holes in the nothing.
Yeah.
Tobias, you read me like a book. That's exactly it. Returning to nature. I love how there's no tubes, there's no shield. One of the lines that I wanted the demon to say was like, "Your power is natural here, right? Like you don't need all of this artificial nonsense. Like this is just a realm of like." Because it's trying to seduce Tobias into its side, you know. And it also already invited you into the dark wood.
Right? It gave me the It gave me the door, and that's
Yeah.
that's probably the one thing I'm not gonna share in character.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the one, like, just in case.
I was paying attention to like what specific information you were giving Augustus, and I noticed that yeah, you omitted that, and that's pretty cool, right? That's something that
Just in
that the
case.
character would do. That's really interesting. Man, I really like the session. This was a really fun session to play and
An
like talk.
awesome one.
Thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you for, you had to put off the thing yesterday. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for, just being sports. Thank you for people who watched and commented. If you watch this later and you have any comment either about the roleplay or about the mechanics, if you have an opinion, an advice, just share in the comments. I'll make sure I'll read them. I'll take them into consideration. And have a great night and a good week.
Night.
And I bid thee farewell up until next 2 weeks, maybe? Who knows?